Alright, this video is on the angle addition postulate, and the angle addition postulate pretty much says that if you have technically there's three angles here. You have 1, 2, and then the big angle together is a third angle. So you have one small one, a second small one, and then the third angle are the two angles together. And the angle addition postulate says if you take the small one, angle 1, and add it to angle 2, you'll get, let's say the measure here. The measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 will equal the measure of angle 3. Like the larger angle. Okay, and that's pretty much what it means. Like, and that makes sense. If this was, I'll draw it again. Let's say this was 70 degrees and this was 60 degrees, then the larger angle would be 130, because together, if I didn't have it split up and I was just drawing that angle for the first time, it would have to be a 130-degree angle. But they took this 130-degree angle and they broke it up into two smaller pieces. And so that's pretty much what the angle addition postulate says, is that if you take a bigger angle and you break it up into smaller pieces, those smaller pieces will still add up to be the bigger angle. And it is logical, and it does make sense. So it's not that hard to understand. As long as something is logical, it generally, isn't that bad. So let's make up some examples, and we'll do some. I think the hardest part of this for kids is reading what they've given us. Okay, so let's label it A, B, C, and D. So let's say they say angle BAC, the measure of angle BAC, that's what that says. The measure of angle BAC is, and what do you think it looks like? Maybe 80 degrees. And let's say the measure of angle CAD is, let's say, 25 degrees. And they want to know what is the measure of angle BAD. So the hardest part for kids is figuring out what they've told us and what they're asking us for. So like I said before, just trace your finger on the letters. So start with B, then go to A, then go to C. So this angle BAC is 80. Then they tell us that CAD is 25. CAD is 25. And then, so we know the two pieces, 80 degrees, 25 degrees. They want to know what's the big angle, because look at what they're asking. What's the measure of angle BAD? BAD. So that's the big angle. So to do that, we're going to add the two smaller pieces together. So 80 degrees plus 25 degrees. That's really what we're looking for. Well, 80 plus 25 is 105. So the measure of angle BAD is 105 degrees. Let's try another one. What if they tell us oops, oh, sorry, I hit that really hard. Let's say they tell us So draw this out, and the measure of angle DEF and the measure of angle DEG and the measure of angle FEG. Okay, so let's say the measure of angle DEF is 15 degrees and the measure of angle DEG is 90 degrees. What's the measure of angle FEG? So this one's a little different. I want you to try it by yourself first. Just go ahead and pause the video and just do what you think you should do, and then play the video and see if you got it right. These are just notes, so it's no big deal if you mess up. You can just cross it out and start over. So try it by yourself first. Okay, hopefully you've done it and you're now just playing the video again. It tells us that angle DEF is 15 degrees. So DEF is 15 degrees. So we're going to fill that in. And then it tells us that angle DEG is 90. So DEG. So that's the big one here. Like that's both of them together. So the big angle together is 90. So I'm going to kind of draw it out here a little bit. So together the two of them are 90 degrees. So what must this one be? So now we're going to have to subtract. So 15 plus some other number is going to give me 90, because 15 plus the other piece adds up to 90. So think about it. One of the smaller angles plus the other smaller angle adds up to be 90. But we don't know what the other smaller angle is. So we're going to have to subtract. So we're going to take 90 minus 15 and get 75. So this angle is 75 degrees. I keep hitting it. I think I'm going to write it in red. That way it sticks out a little bit. Let's try another one. Let's do, what if it tells us something algebraically? Let's say it says this is x plus 3 and this is 20 degrees. And they both add up to be 110 degrees. Oops, let me move this up. So copy that down. X plus 3, 20 degrees, 110 degrees. How would we set that up to be an equation? Well, don't forget that each of these smaller pieces, like this is small angle plus the other small angle, add up to be the big angle. So one small angle plus the other small angle add up to be the bigger angle. So that's how we would set it up to be an equation. And now that we have it like this, we need to combine like terms. Technically, this would be a degrees as well. So I'm going to draw my line. The 3 and the 20 I can put together because they're both numbers. So I'm really going to get x plus 23 equals 110. And then I subtract 23 from both sides. So whatever 110 minus 23 87. So x is 87. All right, hopefully you understand the concept of angle addition postulate. The next video is going to be on working out examples from your assignment. If you have questions on the angle addition postulate in general, please raise your hand and ask for help.